On Wednesday, President Trump confirmed something that every other administration might have kept shrouded in secrecy, that he had approved new CIA actions inside Venezuela, a move so unprecedented that it prompted a question like that from a reporter. So far, U.S. military strikes on boats in the Caribbean have killed 27 people with little information, evidence, or much of an explanation from the Trump administration on their goals and its war on drug trafficking. But sources tell the New York Times, which was first to report on the CIA's new approvals, that the administration's ultimate goal is to remove Venezuela's leader, Nicolas Maduro, from power after ending diplomatic talks earlier this month. Joining us now, former Secretary of Defense and former CIA Director Leon Panetta. Regime change. How does that sound to you?
Well, it's always a strange world dealing with the Trump administration. Obviously, the purpose of a covert CIA operation is to keep it highly classified and not to reveal it to anyone so that the mission can be accomplished on a classified basis. The president has announced this covert operation. So it's no longer covert. And the danger is, frankly, that it jeopardizes lives because the mission is no longer covert. Venezuela is going to be very aware of the fact that there are individuals trying to conduct these operations. And it may indeed jeopardize the mission itself. So I'm not sure exactly what the president is trying to accomplish other than to make it apparent that we're not only going to attack Venezuela at sea, we're going to attack them on land as well.
How much of a threat is Venezuela and these cartels to American safety?
Well, there's no question that drug traffickers and those that are involved in the drug trade are a threat, certainly a threat to our country. And we do need to take action to deal with that, but it should be action that is taken within the law. And a lot of what the president is doing is beyond the law. Firing at these vessels at sea, killing a lot of people without presenting any information or intelligence to justify those attacks, that's wrong. And it sends, frankly, the wrong message to the world. And now doing a covert operation that is no longer covert really undermines the ability to accomplish any kind of effective mission that could be achieved. So I just think the administration is doing a lot of this for show and isn't really establishing a strategy to really go after the drug dealers themselves.
Put the legal part of this aside, the serious questions about the legality. What are the risks of doing this?
Well, the risks are that when you're operating in many ways outside the law, that things are going to happen, attacks are going to be made that frankly could escalate. Venezuela now is very aware that they are essentially under attack by the United States of America. And so there's no question that this conflict could escalate into a full-fledged war. And that's the danger, because the president has not laid any groundwork with the Congress. He hasn't really presented to the Congress exactly what the strategy of the administration is. And so a lot of this is being done by the seat of their pants. And ultimately, if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a clear mission, all of that is going to come back to haunt you.
You can look all around the world, and our attempts at regime change, our destabilization efforts have mixed results at best, mostly bad results. There have been cases where vacuums have been created, terrorism has flourished. Are we potentially going to see? Yeah, are we going to see a version of that happening in Latin or South America because of our efforts?
Yeah, no, it's announcing that somehow we're going to do a covert operation in Venezuela, in many ways sends the worst of all signals to the rest of Latin America. Because what it does is it confirms that the United States is going to use these kinds of covert tactics in order to undermine not just Venezuela, but perhaps other countries as well. I think it sends a bad signal to the other countries that we really need to work with in order to put our arms around the drug cartels and drug trafficking. We need a bond with those countries. We don't need to take them to war.
I want to ask you about the Pentagon and the press corps. They walked out yesterday at 5 o'clock. Didn't sign on to that memorandum, that list of rules given out by Pete Hegseth. I believe there was one signatory that was OAN. So Fox News, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, everyone walked out, New York Times, et cetera, walked out of the Pentagon. What do we lose by not having the press over there?
Look, this is unconstitutional. And I really recommend that Hegseth take the time to read Hugo Black's opinion in the Pentagon Papers. And I'll just read you one line from his opinion. No branch of government, this is a quote, no branch of government can abridge the people's freedom of the press, unquote. That was an opinion that stressed the fact that you cannot interfere with the right of a free press to be able to report the news. Let's not forget, DOD is the largest department in the federal government, almost 300 million people. It spends the largest amount of any department, over $1 trillion. The taxpayers are entitled to know what the hell is going on in the Pentagon. And they do that through the ability of a free press. So, I pay tribute to the institutions that would not accept these constraints. And you know what? Secretary Hegseth can run from a free press, but he can't hide from a free press. Ultimately, these stories are going to come out.
I was also going to mention the reporting around the burn pits and what that has meant for the families of soldiers, not to mention soldiers themselves and their own personal safety. It's a lot that goes into reporting on the Pentagon. Secretary Panetta, thank you so much for joining us, as always. Really good to have you.